Hello, in this video I would like to explain a little bit about what the SAMR model is, created by Mr. Ruben Puentedura, which defines how technology should be used to achieve a higher level learning experience for students in the 21st century. Let's start by defining what the SAMR model means. The SAMR model stands for SAMR, S meaning substitution, A augmentation, M modification, and R redefinition. And according to this model, the first two levels are where technology enhances the learning of students, and the two top levels actually transform their learning to meet the needs of the 21st century. So starting with substitution, which is the first one, in this level, technology acts as a direct tool substitute, and there's really no functional change. So students are basically substituting what they were doing on a piece of paper to now using the iPads, but there's no actual change. They're still doing the same tasks and getting to the same levels of learning from Bloom's taxonomy or the DOK levels as we define them in the world of education. Moving up to augmentation, in this level, technology acts as a direct substitute tool. However, there is some functional improvement in which students are able to do few aspects of their learning is enhanced by the use of technology and made a little bit better. And the next level, transformation, which actually goes over the line, where their learning is actually transformed to the higher levels of the needs of the 21st century. The third level is modification. Technology allows for significant task redesign, which means the greater part of a project or an assignment that a student has to do requires them to actually use the technology. Otherwise, the task would not really be able to be possible. But not all parts of the assignment need to have that technology piece. For the last level, though, redefinition, in this level, technology allows for the creation of a new task or a new project or a new idea where without the technology is inconceivable. It cannot be done. And technology allows for a greater global scale of learning and sharing and collaboration that allows students to become more unified. Again, in this era of in the age of technology, and so it makes the student more global. And of course, in this era, not only are students going to be encountering so many new levels of technology and ways of learning, and even when they go to their careers, even for us as teachers, there's so much out there for us to use that again, it's hard to pick which one would be modification, which one would be augmentation, which one would be redefinition, which is what we want to get to. So it's using this model, one can start defining, or one can start classifying which app or which website or which piece of technology gets to that level, or gets to which of the levels of their learning. So this piece talks about basic. This piece is actually the TPAC aspect of the SAMR model, and with this we combine the technological, the pedagogical, and the content knowledge. And once all of them are merged together to one level, then you can officially say that you are using the technology to be able to measure their content and measure their pedagogy. What is it that they're, or how are they accessing that information? So this diagram shows this diagram shows very clearly how that can be achieved. Not only are you supposed to have the technology piece, not only are you supposed to have the content knowledge to teach your certain subject or certain concept within a subject, you're, as a teacher, also supposed to have the pedagogy. And again, with all those combined, you get a great 21st century lesson that allows students to not only understand the lesson, but also be more well-rounded globally. So the SAMR model is really a step up, like a ladder, a staircase. And the question to teachers is, how is it that you're going to have your students climb? How are they going to be climbing the model? So is the technology that you're using pretty watered down? Are the lessons that you're creating with the technology watered down? Are you allowing them to get to a higher level of learning using that technology? Are they crossing the line and getting to modification where their task is redesigned so that now they are able to use their technology as a primary component for their lesson? And then the last bit, are they able to redefine the tasks, the activities? Are they able to be more global? Are they able to share a concept with the world on the internet, on a classroom website, on YouTube, on Twitter? How is it that they're taking, is their learning staying with them, or is the learning going to the world for others to see and for others to critique and for others to learn from? So again, one of the questions that the teacher should always ask themselves is, how is it that I'm getting my students to the top step, which is the one that we want to. Obviously not for all lessons, but for the major concepts, so for the major ideas that we want students to get out of before they step out of our classroom for the last time. And the last diagram that I actually got from iPadforschools.org explains the SAMR model in such a way that it really, really understands. So when introducing iPads at the first level, students still need to be taken through the content. So teachers are still walking them through, the lessons are still teacher driven, and the students are still more or less active listeners or just listeners, and the teacher's pretty much taking over. At the next level of augmentation, all of the students should be now able to see how cool the app is and should be a little bit more motivated, should already kind of know what they're doing with the app and how they can use it. At the modification level, which is, crossing the line, students are approaching all kinds of apps in order to be able to create one major project. So students already are starting to get to know all of the apps that they can use to create one mega video to share, or mega tutorial, or mega interactive think link, and are able to use a variety of tools to be able to finish their product. At the R level, at the redefinition level, students basically take control of their learning. They work collaboratively, and all of them arrive to their answers in ways that they hadn't imagined, and in ways that the teacher hadn't imagined. And at this level, the teacher is pretty much the facilitator, watching the learning, curating the learning, walking and facilitating responses, but not giving a whole lot of answers. It is completely student-driven. It is community-driven at this point, where students can now share to the world, either by classroom website, or again YouTube or Twitter, or any other type of social media. And again, the knowledge is taken to the greater scale. It doesn't stay in the classroom. It doesn't stay with the student. It goes beyond. And so once again, this SAMR model takes the students to a more global level. And so that pretty much concludes my explanation. This is what I understand of this wonderful model and how it can let us become the type of teacher that our students are going to need if they are to prepare to be out there in the world in the 21st century. Thank you.